Thanks for joining me. Custom cups. Boom.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It can be very deep. Boom is one of them phrases that can explain so many emotions, feelings. It's very universal.
So last time we were in a formal environment, me and you, we shot that change video, we released it, turned out pretty well. Has there been any differences since that video and now in terms of your life and what you're doing with activism? Has anything changed?
Well, I'm constantly changing as a person. So I'm never the same person as I was yesterday, which I think if you're 50 years old and you still have the same mentality that you had when you're 20, then you've wasted 30 years. So always growing, always evolving. I mean, I could always do better and always learn more about myself. And no, I'm not perfect and no one is. So I think it's life is a progressive sort of journey of self-awareness and growing sort of thing.
Do you feel like as time goes on, you refine your technique?
There is no guide, there's no how-to on activism. I mean, everyone's just out there, they're doing what they can, they're using the skills that they have to the best of their ability to work for them. And you know, you get it wrong sometimes. You get it wrong and you know you get it wrong by the feedback that you get and by as many people that say, oh, that changed my mind. You get comments saying that helped me turn vegan. So I think you do have to tailor your approach to work for the masses, because to be an effective activist, you have to do that. You can't just be like, I want to do it this way, but it's not working. And, you know, I think you have to be aware of what your actions are doing and whether they're actually working, whether you're getting people messages saying that video turned me vegan, that really opened my eyes. You know,
I would assume it's hard though, because you have to empathize with people in the sense that, okay, I used to do this and that's why this appeals to me, but you might have come from this family or this religion or this circumstance. So I can't just come at you with, I used to do a heinous amount of drugs and was involved in criminal activity. You're completely different. That might not appeal to you. So I'm assuming that you have to always be empathizing and trying to understand people, but still trying to convey your message.
I come from a walk of life where, you know, I didn't have patience. No one has patience. And now as an activist, you have to have patience and understanding that people aren't where you're at.
Yeah.
And that can be tough because, you know, you're only human and sooner or later someone's going to say something stupid to you. You're going to have an emotional response and, you know, you can react in a certain way. And I think that can hurt you as well if you react.
Do you know what I think though is key? I feel like we're a part of the collective human race. Yeah. I'm not trying to attack you. I just want you to do better for you and the people around you that you're affecting. Also,
as an animal rights activist, you're thinking of the animals and the victim.
Yeah.
So that's the mentality I have and perspective I have. I'm always thinking, look, you don't really understand, but you're affecting these animals. Yeah. So as an animal rights activist, you speak for the animals. Yeah. And you have to do it in a way that sort of, so you can get this person to sort of stop hurting them with their food choices. So
but there is an element there that you're trying to. Yeah, you're trying to help them also.
Definitely.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're trying to get them more aligned.
Definitely, and that's why I speak of the health benefits, and I see people, and I know what's down the track for them if they continue eating these carcinogenic, you know, animal products, which will eventually kill them. It may not be now, but 30 years down the track, they'll be 50 years old, and something will bang, it will pop up. So you want to help them too. I mean, there's nothing worse than seeing a family member like your mum or something and they're drinking dairy milk, which you know contributes to breast cancer or something like that. It's hard, and you're trying to, you know, help them at the same time. You want to help the animals, you know.
I want to talk about the space of YouTube and the work you do and how it integrates.
YouTube is the platform.
Being a popular fucking famous YouTuber in the back, it's not really at the forefront of your mind. The popularity is only a benefit for you because it's a bigger platform to reach the people you need to reach.
So that is the thing. I mean, being popular means more people get to see, exposed to the message. Yeah. So that is important in a way. Like, you don't really need to be that popular to get your message out there. I mean, I'm not that popular, but what a lot of people do is they see my video, they go, wow, this really impacted me, and then they go and show it to their brother. And so it doesn't matter how popular it's whether you're making an impact and whether you're effective.
Where does the vegan drama and veganism tie together? Do they tie together?
I personally think it does more harm than good. It's discredited real animal rights activism. These people are toxic. They aren't in it for the right reasons. They're selling their soul to the devil to be popular. They're giving people an excuse to continue and not change.
But I think it goes beyond that. I feel like they're not sitting there like deliberately saying like, I want to fuck these animals over. They're not saying that. They have this inherent need to feel validated.
If I don't like someone personally, but I see that they're creating awareness for a good cause and they're helping animals, I'll put my personal conflict with them aside and say, well, at least he's helping animals and has a good message. I wouldn't be like making some video trying to slander and discredit and completely ruin this person's reputation if I know that their reputation hinges upon their animal activism, you know?
These people probably don't have the ability to check themselves and understand what's really going on, because a lot of the stuff they do, so they're doing it for the wrong reasons, but they probably deep down know they're doing something wrong, but they kind of do what people get out of their content. They just re-justify it and then project their own issues onto you. Yeah. And that's what they do. That's the whole game of it.
They don't have the victims in mind, and it's selfish and egotistical, you know? It's wrong.
It always dawns on me, dude, like, fuck. Like, I used to plug in my broadband, or, Jess, what was that thing called? Dial-up. Like, I used to dial up and then run the cord to my fucking room and then plug it into the fucking wall. And that kind of just reminds me that, like, there was a time pre-internet. There was people doing this shit pre-internet.
And that's what people forget. They've only been exposed to veganism on YouTube because it's fantastic, man. The reason that change is happening so fast is because we have phones in front of our faces, we've got social media and all that stuff, which is excellent, excellent. But people think that the be-all and end-all of the vegan movement, of animal rights movement, is on YouTube, and it's not true, man. It's not true. There's a massive movement happening all over the world, in Israel, in all over the country. London, people are doing on the streets. It's a massive battle going on, and it's not just what's happening on YouTube. I mean, there's a certain group of animal activists which use YouTube as a platform. There's a whole, like 50% of vegans on YouTube aren't even animal activists. They're just following a trend. They think it's just, you know, what I eat in a day, or drama videos, or they're making money off it and getting views. Those people don't want to know. You know when people are in it for the right reasons because their message is consistent with animal rights.
100%. For me, it was like the more I became connected with what's really going on, it became more appealing to me. Like it seemed more correct. It just seemed like this is the default. But it's kind of like when you live from the outside in, it's kind of counterintuitive, dude. Because it kind of goes along with what you've been taught, not what you know.
Perspective, man. It's bigger than these egomaniacs say it is. It's much bigger than that.
It's much bigger.
This is to do with justice. It's to do with your own well-being, your own inner peace. I mean, you're putting death and suffering in your body. You're creating more of the problem. Don't you want to be part of the solution? I mean, if you're someone who gives a fuck about what goes on the planet, this is the strongest point of control you have to make change.
That extends to your diet.
That's the thing about veganism. It's not a diet. That's what people have misconception.
But that's true though. It extends to your diet.
Think it's
not the diet that extends to your life. It's the whole thing that
extends
to the diet. Yeah.
I don't want to walk around stabbing kittens or kicking dogs or punching people in the face for innocent people that have done nothing wrong to me. This is it's a moral stance against violence. It's not I've got to eat this particular food group. I don't want to, my actions, I don't want to inflict pain on others unnecessarily when it's not necessary. I say to them, can you please stop oppressing the dead animals that are on your plate? And they say, well, I don't care about that. I care more about what's happening overseas with the wars, and you can't change everything. You can't change the world, so therefore I shouldn't stop.
But you don't, because what you're trying to present to them is a whole philosophy and way of life that connects to what's happening over there with the war.
If you are for equal rights, then you are obligated to change your food choices and the things that you buy.
I think it's just a super challenging concept for people because you have to be an extremely fucking courageous cunt, man.
In this world, you do.
You do. It's not an easy thing to do. You felt a kind of way when you were 2. And then as soon as you could start consciously understanding things and you started crawling on your fucking toes and hands, you said, daddy, 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 your dad's already fucking conditioned. And he's going to start conditioning you. And I bet you, preschool, there's fucking pre-preschool. And there's pre-preschool. And then by the time I have a fucking kid, when he's 2, he's going to be in pre fucking preschool.
Yeah.
And then what do you think that's about, eh?
Condemnation without investigation is the height of ignorance, and that's an Einstein quote. It's so true, man. People will be like, no, they're not lying to us. They're not lying to us. And it's like, the thing about veganism is it's the easiest thing to prove to someone. You show them a dead body on their plate. You say, would you agree with that treatment if it was you or a family member? If they say no, then they have to live consistent with veganism, or they're admitting that they're living against their morals. Yeah. Some people say they wouldn't care as long as I didn't feel it, you bolt gum in the head and eat my body, but they're lying. They're lying. No one would think that treatment is okay for humans, so therefore it's not okay for other living sentient
I think it's just such a confronting truth that like, you know that something like that is so wrong, and that you've been programmed from such a young age to let this all happen, that you can't even face it and go like, holy fuck, like, can this all be fucking true?
It's a hard one.
But I think it's imperative, dude, to try and wrap your head around it, because getting in line with that thinking's done for me. It opens one door, which opens another door, and it's just that once you start on one truth, you can start trying to find other 100%, truths.
Because when you find out that they're lying to you about something so fundamental like what to eat,
like the sky's blue, it's like that's how true it is.
Then you realise, wow, they're telling us this is healthy and it's killing people. Yeah. So they are killing us. And we're killing animals in the process, and we're destroying the planet. Yeah. And they're telling us this is okay. Yeah. So what else are they lying to us about? And then it's like, boom. And then
but I think it's a big ploy to create two things: to create this big ego that strips you from your spirituality, and then the whole time is just every year they can consistently pull it apart and pull it apart and pull it apart and pull it apart, and your spirit from who you are now is so far removed from who you actually are.
Yeah, they want us to walk around godless and without spirit. And if we all took our power back, that'd be insignificant if we all understood our power. Yeah. And they know that, so they want to keep us, controlled.
They're all tied together. Like what we see now on YouTube, drama and clickbait and all these kind of people selling their soul to the devil. Why do you think that's happening, bro? Is that just kind of shows me like, fuck, like, you guys are really under control, aren't you? Think about the algorithm. We joke, say, fuck the algorithm. It's almost like the algorithm was like a test. And that's how I looked at it at the time. Like, this is a big fucking test. Someone is testing me to see whether what I'm about is more important to me than this false sense of validation from other people. Yeah. And these people, what they crave, bro, is that sense of validation. But what they don't realize is the only way to feel validated is to feel validated on the inside, which is come from you. Validate yourself. Yeah.
People get an esteemed feedback, like a popular response for doing what is against what their true self is. So it's set up like that.
And that, you know what that does? It does this even more. I mean, it does even more. So you're over here and you want to believe, that what you're doing is right. So you're just, you want to believe. So when people thumbs you up, you say, fuck yeah, this is sick.
Do what's popular and you'll be popular. So look at the music industry, it's the same. If they bring out some song that has no deeper meaning to it, it skyrockets and goes #1 and that's designed like that.
It's designed.
If a lot of these musicians are very talented, if they really spoke what they wanted to, they wouldn't make it that far. I don't honestly believe. I think it's to do with popularity. Or
even people always tell me to dull shit down or just do what everyone else is doing. But that's who the fuck are you to tell me to dull it down, bro? Like I said before, I look at these harms and just go, what the fuck? You're telling me to dull it down, cunt? Like, that's like telling me to chop my own nutsack off or stab myself in the soul. Yeah. Like, why would I dull down the essence of who I am to fit in, bro? Especially now with the time of the internet and all this kind of stuff and everything happened, it's kind of like, you need to revisit that idea of actually who you are.
You know what, even if you inspire 2 or 3 people, let's just say those 2 or 3 people then go on to, make waves. You've done a lot, you've done a lot. And if you sacrifice the message to appeal to popularity, then you would have sacrificed, changing these 3 people's lives who then go on to make massive impact.
But the problem is, dude, the people who want to feel this sense of popularity, you're chasing something that's never meant to be attained. Yeah. It's always going to be one step in front of you, so it's never going to be enough. And it kind of upsets me because it's like, the way you're going to feel that sense of fulfillment is to get connected more with what's going on inside of you, get more in touch with that, and that's when you're going to sit back and feel like, fuck, like I actually feel way better now.
If they were chasing world change and ending oppression waking up the world, then that's a good motivation to have.
Yeah.
But I think people are getting lost in being successful and getting money and getting.
But the term successful, bro. Well, most people have this engineered definition of it, bro. So the definition is in line with what other people think of success. And the only reason people want to be successful is so they're liked and loved and they feel like they don't. It's not even about the money. It's just this sense of like, I'm better than you. You're better than me.
You can be successful in the way that you're waking people up, inspiring people, and changing lives.
But that's what we're talking about. This other definition that isn't glorified.
I think it's important for yourself to do what you believe is right in your heart. Otherwise, you're going to have this itching pain inside of you, like you are living inconsistent with who you are, and you might as well be dead.
And I feel like, especially for me, bro, especially this year, because I've like I've had a lot of roadblocks in my way. It's almost like the universe was showing me a sign, bro. Okay, we all talk about a path. It's almost like, okay, maybe I do have a path. Once I established I had the path, I stepped off it, and then the universe stopped me and said, we're going to keep you here until you work out what the fuck's going on and what you need to work out, and then it's okay. You can jump back on and progress until the next fuck up. This stolen growth that almost times people get more caught up in it than I do has been the biggest blessing for me, because it's given me time to sit back and say, why is this happening? And then it's given me enough time to say, why is this happening? And then go from why is this happening? It's happening because everybody else is a fuckboy, to maybe I'm a fuckboy. And YouTube was I learned a lot from it. And I learned a lot from it. And it's almost like I just saw people getting stripped of their power all the time. They were doing well, but at a cost. And the cost was they were getting stripped of their birthright. And their birthright was to be this like beautiful individual who comes out the world with a true sense of who they are and really provides and gives and helps other people. But they were getting stripped of it, and they were getting rewarded. So they're getting rewarded with it, which confirms in their mind that it's good, and they're separating this even more and more and more and more. And I just had to say, when I kind of try to bridge this thing back, I realized fuck, I have a blessed opportunity now to try and challenge the way people think about the outside world, and then really challenge them to look from the outside world and start looking on the inside world. Because it's like, I'm the type of kind, it's like, nothing is a coincidence. Everything in my life is in relation to what's going on inside of me and the way I think and my thoughts and processes. And when you kind of take ownership of that, you can really, create a beautiful world around you. So, 9 times out of 10, if you're having a problem, it's your fucking fault. YouTube taught me that on a bigger scale for me. Because it was like, I never had put so much effort into something and got, like, if I work construction, I'd be making 4K a week, bro. Like, that's how much, I've never put so much effort into it and got nothing out of it. But then I realized I was meant to get nothing out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was never meant to get this so-called success out of it, but I did on a deeper level get a lot of success out of it, personally.
It's all about evolving and, taking that next step. So I think you can't stay the same. You always have to keep changing as a person, looking inside yourself, and it's a massive tool that we all have. I think when you get separated from spirit, it's it's easy to get chewed up and spat out by that world, because it's designed
to chew you up
stuff us all over.
The people you think who are winning aren't winning.
No,
you're just under the false illusion that they're winning, and that's why they're winning, bro. The guy driving the Lamborghini is no different to you driving your Nissan Pulsar. The only difference is his car goes 180, your car goes fucking 90. Do you know what's consistent with both? You both want to go fucking quicker, and you're both not happy about the speed that you're fucking traveling at.
Jim Carrey's got a mad quote on that. He's like, I wish everyone would be rich and famous so they would come to the realization that that's not the answer.
And it's almost like people don't see the beauty in the most basic stuff. It's because they're so caught up in what everyone else is doing that, like, when you sit on the couch at night and you're just chilling with your missus or you're having fun, they kind of just go like, no, that's not enough because I have that. And I've been taught that what I have is not good enough. But I was always told what he has is good enough. So why are you showing me this shit? It's not good enough. Fuck off. You know what I mean? They don't want me to confirm the fact that their life is actually good enough. They don't want that, bro. So they get upset at me. They say, fly your drone over the fucking building, dude. Do a walk by. That's what they want me to do. But they don't understand what I'm fighting for. That's why I'll show you that shit. Because I'm not the type of motherfucker, or at least anymore, to go do shit for the sake of doing shit, bro. Like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. And I just want to empower people to say, like, yo, your life's good enough, lad. Like, your couch, even though my couch and your couch looks the same, your couch is completely different, dude. You got a different set of hands, a different set of thinking, a different life story. Whether you be rich, poor, famous, fresh out of fucking jet wagon. On the technical failure, I think we had a good session, bro.
Yeah.
You know, And I feel like the more I talk about it, the better it is for me. Like, I'm dealing with this shit just as much as everybody else is dealing with this shit. I'm not coming from a place of like, I know more than you. I'm coming from a place of like, I have this conversation with you. Without all of this, it helps me kind of better understand my life and what's going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like other people, you know, need to be in on the fucking conversation, because some people, unfortunately, you know, don't have someone they can, you know, chat to without their mum going fucking, what have you been doing? Like, you know what I mean?
This level of conversation brings stuff out in yourself, and you can think about things for yourself. And I think it's important to share it, and other people can go, "Wow, yeah, I'm sort of at that same place that they're at." And, you know, some people might think that we've lost it, but
they'll come back. They're not there yet, but then they come back, they're gonna understand, and they're gonna say, "Fuck, those two cunts sitting in the studio, bruh."
There's also going to be a group of people that is the level
above,
a little bit,
100%. But they'll say it, and they'll look at us and say, "Oh, fuck, I was there once."
Yeah.
And they might chime in and say their 2 cents, and that's what it's all about.
100%.
So, you know, as much as I want to fucking sit off the back of a tuk-tuk and fucking drink bubble tea and smoke a cigarette all day, which I can't, I want to do this too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I want to do both. So until the next time you're in the fucking Glucose Network studio, lad, thoughts on self-reflection.
Down.